Hey YouTubers, it's me, Zipster. Let me tell you about the morning I had, okay? It's 10 after 6 a.m., okay? Now you know, I don't usually get up till around the crack of noon. 10 after 6 a.m., Mose is downstairs yelling, "Yo, Zipster, get down here, get down here." I'm like, why? She said, "There's some guy standing in the front door. He might be a member of your band or something." I'm like, there is no member of my band is going to be standing at my door at 10 after 6 in the morning. She's like, "Well, there's somebody down here. You got to get down here right now." So I come down and we're peeping out the little curtains, and there's like this big long-haired dude with a big beard, and he's standing at the front door and he's counting like a whole big wad of money. I'm like, "What the hell?" She's like, "Who is it?" I'm like, "I don't have a clue who it is, okay?" But he's standing there counting this money. Then he starts like walking around the house a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And Moses is freaking out. She's like, "What if it's like a drug deal or something? What if Tony's a drug dealer?" That's 9543. And I'm like, "Oh, please tell me it's not a drug deal." And she's like, "Well, I can't figure this out. There's something very wrong here." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So finally the guy left. So I go back upstairs, get in bed. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, I hear, "Zipster, get down here now. There's another guy here." I'm like, "Oh my God, this has to be related." It's like, "Oh, what's going on?" So I go down and I look out the window, and it's this big, massive, gray-haired dude just standing there, you know, and they're knocking at the door real light because, well, you'll find out in a minute. So I'm like, I don't know him either. So we just waited, and he went back. He had a van parked right out in front of the house. He gets in the van, he lights up a cigar, sitting there smoking a cigar, having a cup of coffee, finished with the cigar, lights another cigar. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing here? Why doesn't he leave? Now Moses is like, "You need to call the cops. You need to call the cops right now." And I'm like, what do you say to the cops? You call the cops, "Hey, there's a guy sitting out in front of my house." And she's like, "Well, yeah, that's exactly what you say." I'm like, I'm not calling the cops. You know, there's got to be something going on. Let's just sit tight. So I go upstairs, I get myself a Diet Coke out of my fridge. I come downstairs, I'm wide awake now. As I'm coming down the stairs, I see this woman pull up, and she is all decked out, hair all done. She's wearing a leopard little top and whatever. And she gets out of her car, and she comes walking up to the house. I'm like, okay, this is it. I got to find out what the hell's going on. So I opened the door, and I said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "Oh, am I too early?" I'm like, "Too early for what?" And she said, "The yard sale." I said, "Oh, there's no yard sale here." And she had the newspaper in her hand. She looked at the paper, she looked at the address, and she said, "This is what it says in the paper, this house." I said, "Well, there's some kind of mistake. We're not having no yard sale here." So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, I don't need any of this shit. So I ran upstairs, and I wrote this little note. What does it say? "Wrong address in paper, no yard sale here." Stick it up on the door. And then I like, where's the paper? So Mose gets me the paper. I look, and what does it say? Allentown Today. Yeah, I live in Allentown. With 7 to 10 with my address. Antiques, jewelry, watches, electronics. Not in driveway. Knock on front door. I'm like, okay, nobody has a yard sale in their house. So something is a little fishy here. But then I thought, you know what? Probably the paper just made a mistake and put the wrong address in. Okay, fine. I'm going back to bed. Problem solved. A couple minutes later, well, there's no knocks at the door, but a couple minutes later, Mose is screaming, "Get down here right away. People are trying to get in the house." I'm like, "What do you mean trying to get in the house?" She's like, "They're going the door now." I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." So I opened the door, and there was nobody there right now, and I opened the door because I saw my note had been taken off the window. I opened the door, and this note is now on my door. "Come inside." I'm like, okay, somebody is pulling some kind of a prank here. So Moses like looking around. Oh, yeah, so then I did this and put it back up again. Wrong address in paper, no yard sale here. Meanwhile, Moses like, there's signs sitting up out on my swing out front. There's signs sitting on the chair. So she's running around. This is one of the signs. "Please knock loudly. Hard of hearing." I'm like, okay, this is too much. And as I'm watching her get the signs, I'm in my underwear, so I wasn't going outside. So don't think I'm just bossing Mose around. As I'm looking around, I see there is a video camera laying in the front yard. I said, "Mose, get that video camera." So she goes over and she picks it up and she's like, "What am I going to do with it?" I'm like, "Just bring it in here. You know, at least I get a camera out of the deal." Because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. But Mose comes in and she said, "I know exactly what's going on here. This is Naltz." I'm like, "No, man, Naltz lives like 40 minutes away. He's not going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to pull a prank like this. Plus an ad in the paper costs $50. Why would he do something like that?" She said, "I'm telling you right now, it's Naltz." So, okay, all of a sudden I see a little bit of commotion at the door. Now it's about 7 o'clock. I see a little bit of commotion at the door, and somebody's putting this big-ass sign on my door. It says, antiques, jewelry, electronics, and more. Knock loudly. Inside. Knock. And I see this sign go up, and I can barely see around it through the window. So I finally peeked a little bit, and I saw this guy in a wig running across my yard, and I said, son of a bitch, that is North's. And as he was driving away, I just yelled, you asshole! And he was here with Babysitter North, who he was making do all his dirty work too. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Oh, and if you want to actually, and he took footage of all this, that's why he got up so damn early, and that's why he paid $50 so he could put it on his damn channel. So if you don't already watch North's, check out North's, and you can see his prank in action. And he also put up an after the prank, because then, well, you know, once I saw him and all that, then I wasn't so mad, and I invited him in for coffee and stuff. So he also did a little video of the aftermath of the fake yard sale. But all I'm trying to say to you is, with friends like this, who needs enemies, okay? I'll talk to you later. Thank you! Damn you, North. I know where you live too, you son of a bitch. I'll get you. Frickin' North.